On today's video, let's talk about legendary commanders and more specifically, how to skill up legendary commanders. Each legendary commander is unique. All of them can be skilled up the same way, but it's not recommended to skill them up the same way. Today, I'll explain to you how that recommendation is made, as well as how you should approach some of your legendary commanders. I'm also going to have a list of all the recommendations in my Discord, which is linked in the description down below. And at the end, we're going to talk about an approach a free-to-play player could try to take to enjoy the game much more early on. So if you guys don't know how to level up your next legendary commander, you're questioning whether you should do something or not, this video is for you. So sit back, enjoy the video, slap a like on it if you found it helpful, informative, useful, or anything else. And you know what? Let's keep going. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Gekko Gaming. First of all, I apologize if you guys hear a drill at some point, like very faintly in the background. My neighbors are renovating and there's nothing I can do to stop that drill right now. Here's the deal. Legendary Commander sculptures are a very important asset. Not only the generic ones, but also the regular actual Commander sculptures. And a lot of people don't really understand how to use them and or ask whether or not a certain commander is good based on a level. This video is all about how to level up a commander and how to decide which direction you're going to take with your commander. Let's start with the basics. A commander, when you unlock him for the first time, is level 1. With its first skill at 1, his level is 1, and he is at 1 star. There are a total of 4 skills on each commander, and the 5th one is the expertise skill, which only exists on legendary and epic commanders. Now, what you need to understand based on terminology for your better understanding, we're going to call this skill skill 1, this skill skill 2, 3, 4, and not relevant. All of them are the same, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why are they 1, 2, 3, and 4? Pretty simple. First star unlocks to you this. Second star unlocks this, third star unlocks this, and fourth star unlocks this. And the way you star up your commanders is, first of all, you need to reach a round level on a 10 scale. So every 10 levels, you can upgrade your commander another star, all the way to level 60 with 6 stars. When you level a skill on a commander, every time you level up a skill, it will, well, most of the time, sometimes it takes 2 skills to go up, but it goes up every other time you upgrade a skill, and the requirements for it go up, which means that for the first time you upgrade a commander, you see my Constantine is first skill level 1, it'll cost you 10 sculptures to level it up. Same can be said about leveling the skill to level 3. But once you try to level up a skill to level 4, then things are going to get a little bit hairier. And the more skills you have leveled up, more levels on skills you have, the more expensive each level gets, to the point where the last levels are, 2 last levels are 80 sculptures each. Just to give you a little bit of context, the first full skill takes about 50 sculptures. And the last skill to max out, the final 4 times you'll level up, costs a total of 310 sculptures. That breakdown can be found on the screen right there, and there you go. So here's the deal. Why do I have level 1 commanders? Because I simply don't have enough sculptures to finish up their first skill. In legendary commanders, the basic recommendation for every commander is max out its first skill. There are currently 2 exceptions in the game where maxing out the first skill is not really the best way to go. But in general, every legendary commander should at least have their first skill leveled up before you continue on. Which means you're locked in at level 10 with a 1 star until you level up that 2nd star and then unlock that 2nd skill. And then the question is, how much can I keep going with a commander if I don't have the sculptures? There are 3 different permutations of what you can do with a commander. You can have a legendary commander that is 5, 1, 1, 1. You can have a legendary commander like my Alexander, which is going to be a 5, 5, potentially 1, 1. And Finally, the third permutation is 5, 5, 5, and 1. When you have that permutation, the end is to max out the final skill. So why is this so important? Because as I mentioned, every time you level up a skill, it'll become more expensive. And so if this skill is quite useless and this one is much better, you really want to level up this one and not that one. Now, unfortunately, it is impossible to choose which skill you level up because as you can see right here, every upgrade will randomly increase a level of an unlocked commander skill. This means essentially, if you're making a 5-1-1-1 commander, it means that you're gonna not start him up until the first skill is leveled up to 5, and then you are going to level him up and star him up all the way to 4 stars in order to be able to unlock all 4 skills. So now, how do you know which commander should be a 5-1-1-1, a 5-5-1-1, or a 5-5-5-1? First and foremost, I'll leave in the Discord, link in the description down below, a list of all the commanders and how you should be starring them up. If you don't see that list in the Rise of Kingdoms section, it means you don't have access to it. Go to Game Access channel and follow the instructions to get access to the Rise of Kingdoms server. There, category, there you'll find the useful information tab with everything and all that those little details. You'll find all that there. Now, the way we determine which commander gets leveled up in which way is pretty straightforward. We're going to use Cao Cao as a fantastic example to show this. We have maxed out his first skill to level 5. Do we now make him a 5-5-1-1 or a 5-5-5-1? We take a look at the next skill and see bonus damage to barbarians. In general, if you use your Cao Cao for barbarians only, this is a must skill. But you use Cao Cao for so much more. More specifically, Cao Cao's main thing is that he's very fast. He's a mobility commander for cavalry. And so bonus damage to barbarians is good, but it doesn't suit him necessarily. If you take a quick peek at the next skill, increase cavalry units march speed, okay, and attack by 30%. Now this is becoming interesting. This is a very useful skill. I can see much more usefulness out of that skill than this one. What about this fourth skill? Troops normal attack have a 10% chance of healing. Portion of slightly wounded troops, a big healing factor. Restore rage and increase troops march speed for 20% for 3 seconds. I don't see any reason not to try to level these guys up over this one, which is why Cao Cao is recommended as a 5-1-1-1 commander. The same can be said about Richard. Richard's first skill is a must. His healing factor is huge, and you really want to have the best out of this. Add the damage reduction and speed, march speed reduction. These are like the critical parts. Counter damage and damage taken reduced by are good, but so is your infantry bonuses, which is what he is. He's an infantry commander. On top of that, he has more healing enhancements, and this is not very important. We don't really care for skills that are garrison fights, but because of this healing enhancement that can enhance this even further, this skill is also insanely useful, which is why in terms of Richard, having a 5-1-1-1 Richard, which then any of these get level up, is not a problem at all. There are many commanders like this one. And there are actually commanders like Tamaris that require you to do this to get the best bang out of your buck. Why? Because the poison factor of this skill is only relevant when you can poison. And guess what? This fourth skill is how you poison. And so having a 5-1-1-1 Tamaris is a must. You have to get to a point where, first of all, you do all the damage plus the poison factor, and then you gotta poison, or else this is useless. So Tamaris is a commander, which is also, by the way, why I haven't skilled her up yet, is a commander that I need to get to 5, unlock all this, and then get here. Why haven't I done it? Because it'll cost a substantial amount of stars. How many stars will it cost to star up a commander? On the screen right there, and on top of that in the Discord down below. And so with that being said, I don't know whether I have enough stars or I want to invest the stars on Tamaris, who is a commander that I most likely will not be doing much more with as of right now. And so she's on idle. I can level her first skill up and then unlock the rest, but I'm in no hurry anywhere. I'll give you a different example of a commander that is a must 5-5-1-1, which is Alexander. Alexander's first skill is the shield, very important. His second skill is actually very important. Direct damage factor, huge direct damage factor, plus the ability to potentially reduce healing factor. If you take a quick peek at the rest of the skills, infantry march is very important in attack as well. And the attack, defense, and bonus are too. But you are going to get a much better reward as the use of this Alexander is as a 5-5-1-1, guaranteeing that you're spending the least amount of sculptures to get this second skill available too. And again, I apologize for the drill. It's driving me crazy too. But again, the first skill is done. Once you get that second skill out of the way, then come the bonuses and the extra stuff that if you either land here or here, great for you. Genghis Khan is a commander that requires a 5-5-5-1. Why? Because each skill is very strong and useful, and you really want to make sure that you are getting your best bang out of your buck. I kind of don't think he's a 5-5-5-1. I believe, as far as I'm concerned, he should be a 5-5-1-1. Why am I saying that? Because if you take a look at the skills again, this skill is very important. Rage requirement reduction, cavalry march speed, and march speed reduction is awesome. But then this skill, while an army is led by this commander, is more than 70%, this happens. And this skill is when you're less than 50%, this happens. And so what you're saying is this skill covers the top 30% and this skill covers the bottom 50%. So you only have a gap between 70 and 50% where no skills are doing anything out of these two. So is he a 5-5-5-1 or a 5-5-1-1? Most people say they want to have this damage bonus first, primarily because they use Genghis Khan for rallies, and rallies you really almost shouldn't be getting here. You should probably be breaking up your rally when you start hitting that 50% march so you lose less troops. So this is why it's a recommendation to have him a 5-5-5-1, because he's mostly more used as a rally commander by the big guys. He's also used in the open field for sure, but as a rally commander, you really want to make sure this is leveled up before you go to the next one. This is how we make these determinations. There are so many commanders out there, and there will be so many more commanders, that you should be able to make this determination based on the skills, based on understanding the skills. And when someone tells you Genghis is a 5-5-5-1 commander, now you understand what that means is you got to skill this up, then star him up. You got to skill this up all the way, then star him up. You got to skill this up all the way, and then star him up for the final unlock. On the other hand, Richard is a commander. Once you hit this, for all I care, take him to 6 stars, level 60, and use him on the open field. A 5-1-1-1 is very useful as a Richard as well. Here comes the point for free-to-play players, for those of you who lasted all this time. There is a misconception, as far as I'm concerned, and this is an opinion, that a free-to-play player should be playing the same way a big spender or any spender plays. The way spenders play is by focusing on the one commander and expertising him. The truth is, a free-to-play player will take months to expertise a legendary commander. I believe it's like 6 to 8 months. Probably 8 months is more like it than 6. And truthfully, I would quit the game way before my first legendary commander was maxed out if I was a free-to-play player. Because you can't just play with epics. What's the point of having legendaries if you can't play with them? And so, something I'm thinking about, and I'm probably going to make a future video about it, is commanders that are 5-1-1-1-able could potentially be a good priority for free-to-play players. Why? Because you only need 50 sculptures to get that first skill unlocked, and then this commander is good to go. You won't be going toe-to-toe with someone who has a max Richard. You'll get annihilated. But having a 5-1-1-1 Richard will give you the opportunity to utilize Richard and to create better marches with his skill. In general, a legendary commander becomes better than an epic commander, than an expertised epic commander, once you've leveled up about, what would it be? It would be 10 skill points. That means 2 maxed out skills and then some, or if you're at 5-1-1-1 and then you're starting to level them up, Once you got to a point where you put 5 skill levels on any of these skills, you got 10 total skill points, or maybe 9. 10 or 9 total skill points, that's when your legendary becomes better than an expertise commander or epic commander. So truthfully, if you have a 5-1-1-1 Richard, you can use them as a secondary commander for a secondary infantry march, and I don't think that's a bad thing to do. I'm gonna make a different video about the approach a free-to-play player should be taking, but keep in mind in this video that, for example, if you're spinning for Richard as a free-to-play player and you're following the recommendation of spinning 10 times every wheel, you'll end up with 15 sculptures and then a few that you'll get along the way. That'll put you at a position where you potentially only need 35 sculptures to max out that first skill, and then he will be useful for you. So that's a small thing I've been thinking about how free-to-play players can enjoy legendary commanders without maxing them out. Yes, it's not the conventional way to play if you're looking to maximize your game, but a free-to-play player will never maximize their game. And so what I'm looking for is maximizing the fun factor versus maximizing the efficiency. With that being said, I hope you understood a little bit better about how legendary commanders should be leveled up, skilled up, starred up, so forth and so on. Again, in the Discord down below, join the Discord. There is a game access channel. Get your permissions to the Rise of Kingdoms server, and there you'll find all the information and graphics. There is a Google spreadsheet with all the star stuff, all the skill stuff, the list of commanders, which ones go where. I'm updating them with Attila and with Shingen, who, by the way, Attila is another fantastic example of a 5-1-1-1 commander. Why? Because his 4th skill is nuts. Once you level this up, you really want to open up and try to land on this before you land here on the cheaper level ups. Because if by some miracle you manage to get to a 5-5-1-1 situation, your Attila is going to be in a hugely better place than a 5-5-1-1 Attila. Keep that in mind. Again, these recommendations might shift and change based on the way commanders are used, but for now, you know how to make that determination yourself, which was the point of this video. Anyway, I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. Thank you guys very much for watching it. If you guys enjoyed the video, found informative, helpful, useful, slap a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff in the description down below. Thank you guys for being awesome, for all your continuous support. You guys are unbelievable in the comments, in the likes, in the Discord, in the PMs. You guys are really, really awesome. We crossed 110 followers on Instagram. We're getting our way there on Twitter. Slowly and steadily, our Facebook is popping over 200 likes. So thank you guys for being awesome. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Take care. Peace.